New at 5:30, it's a free program that helps local veterans work together with other veterans, and for many, it's a way to heal.
We told you in the fall that the Tulsa Glassblowing School staff was making and selling pumpkins to pay for the veterans program. Tulsa's investigative reporter Jana Clark talked to one of those local veterans who found out about the program thanks to Fox 23.
What are we going to do with all this glass?
We're going to make something.
You wouldn't think that a stressful situation could be soothing.
Ooh, it's heavy.
But that's true for Sarah Gregory.
I know that's really weird.
Sarah's a war veteran.
It's not every day that I can find something in the civilian world that makes me feel like, oh, hey, I just got to focus on this and get this one task done and get it out. It's got to be perfect.
Sarah found out about the free classes for veterans at Tulsa Glassblowing School.
We're all veterans. We're all here for the same thing, is to kind of do our own therapy.
Right now, just that steady air is really good.
Jonathan Bolivar teaches glassblowing.
I like that it's so hard. When you're blowing glass, you have to understand how to navigate a process and think clearly in the midst of this chaos happening with the heat and the noise and everything around you. And I'm not sure there are many people more equipped to navigate chaotic situations than our veterans.
Woo, finally!
Sarah knew from early on she wanted to go into the military.
I'm third generation Army. Both of my grandpas on each of my sides served in Vietnam and Korean War.
She joined junior ROTC at Tulsa's Edison High School. When she was a sophomore, terrorists attacked on 9/11.
That really called me to duty.
After basic training and only 15 months in the Army, Sarah quickly found herself fighting in Afghanistan. She was only 19.
My mom was very worried, of course very proud, and my dad also very proud and very worried. We went to Afghanistan during a very volatile part of the war, so I had no idea what I was going into.
Sarah worked as a combat medic.
I am one of the first wave of female medics that ever was in theater in Afghanistan. I did a lot of missions in the air. There was a lot of rocketing and mortar attacks, sometimes 5 times a week. Dealing every day with combat and trauma, I'm very scared every day.
When Sarah came home, the VA diagnosed her right away with PTSD.
I was struggling. I was having a hard time even coming to work. All right, we can stop.
She says it took years, but she finally got the help she needed.
I could say that I had PTSD, but understanding what PTSD is 2 different things. I'm unmedicated today, but it's because I've been committed to my treatment and my therapy and doing things like art.
Art like glassblowing.
This gives me something that I don't get from the other stuff, like a sense of urgency and having to almost work under the gun. Kind of reliving that pressure in a way is therapy for me.
Go flash that.
You pull a blob of flaming glass out of a scorching hot furnace.
2200 degree molten glass.
We call it a gather, a blob of glass on the end of the rod. She's shaping it up. Nice, blow, blow, blow.
You have to know when.
Now blow lighter.
And how to blow the right amount of air to create the vessel.
How's that?
Good.
There is definitely a finesse to it.
Immediately you got to start working on it because it starts to solidify and become very difficult to maneuver.
Stick that whole thing in for about an 8-second flash. We can reintroduce the heat to the glass to keep it moving for as long as we need to work on it. Get at least 3 layers of that. Flash that whole thing, Roger, for 3 seconds.
Spouting out commands across the room. Hey, give me a bit, give me a hot bit. I need you to hold this.
Puff into it a couple times. Let's go get a heat on half of it again. Stop. Nice one.
Yeah.
You got nervous on me.
Yeah, I did.
If you make a mistake,
that's gonna live. Oh!
It's okay.
It will break.
Do it. That's okay.
Your team there to back you up.
Sarah, feel how your arm is a little high? There you go. Good adjustment.
It does give you that feeling of camaraderie like you're in the military. Like a marshmallow. It's hard to find that experience in the civilian world, too. It really is.
This is military rules. This is the superior officer.
Sarah says veterans understand her like no one else can.
It wasn't even my unit I was attached to. It is a shared kind of, I don't want to say trauma, but it is. It's like trauma bonding. Just 3, not 4.
A lot of them find some really good solace in it, and they just want to keep coming back.
I couldn't have been more excited about an opportunity like this. More passion, more angle. I just really wanted to express my gratitude for the donors that make this possible for us veterans. The fact that people are considerate enough to give back to people that serve the country. It makes me cry sometimes. I've had a few moments this year, I'm like, I've really sat down and thought about it, and I'm like, man, that really, I hope to be able to give back someday like this in any kind of way to vets.
What Sarah may not realize, she is helping veterans by sharing her story.
Here are some examples of the artwork that the veterans have finished. And over here is a huge sale that the school is having. They're selling things like ornaments and candy canes and snowmen. Everything they sell here helps pay for programs like the Veterans Program. In Tulsa, covering news that matters. Jana Clark, Fox 23 News.